all things Juneteenth. Get ready to immerse yourself in the rich history and vibrant celebrations of the Planning District 16 Juneteenth event happening on June 17th at Fredericksburg National Stadium. Join us as we honor the emancipation of enslaved African Americans and embrace the spirit of unity and community. From powerful speeches to captivating performances, this event is a celebration of freedom and progress. Get ready to be inspired, educated, and uplifted. Don't miss out on this incredible journey. Let's make Juneteenth a day to remember. Welcome to LCPM Network, where we bring you the latest news and interviews from amazing individuals making a difference in their communities. We are talking all things Juneteenth. Today we have a special guest joining us to talk about the upcoming Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration. Please welcome Gary Holland. What's up?
Hello, hello.
Thank you for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you here. Before we dive into the details of Juneteenth celebration, can you tell our viewers a little bit about your involvement in the community?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Princess. Thanks for allowing me to be on, and thanks everybody for watching. It's Friday for me, and whatever day it is, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've been in Stafford, my wife and I, for about 20 years now, and we've raised all five of our children here, and I've always been involved to some degree in the community, but the last 10 years or so, 15 years or so, we've really ramped up our efforts to really get plugged in to be of service and to help in different areas. And we've done it primarily through our church. We established a youth center years ago in Dumfries called The Den, and we're able to connect with the Williamstown community, meeting a number of kids and their parents, providing after school support, taking them out to see dance and different arts performances in DC and Richmond, providing mentoring and sleepovers and all sorts of things for young people in the Dumfries, Prince William area. And that's where the bug, I think, really bit my wife and I as far as community service, because we saw so much need in our communities. And then a few years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, we had the George Floyd situation, and that really caused my eyes to open and my wife's eyes to open about what could we do to really be of more service in the community. And I'm a pastor, and a lot of folks were asking, well, where's the church? We see the marches, we see the rallies. I was asked to participate in a lot of those, a member of the NAACP, and we would go and talk and really just express how we felt, which was necessary. But people were asking about, where's the church? Where are the leaders from across the county, across the region? And I would tell people they're here. The church is here. They just don't have on collars, but the church is here. But I heard it so much, I decided to form an organization to focus on a couple of key initiatives. And we formed Enough. And Enough focuses on a number of different initiatives. One is voter advocacy. There's another one around youth development. There's one around community service, etc. And we started that. And for the last couple of years, we haven't stopped. And we expanded into St. Louis for a while. We expanded down into the Carolinas for a while. And we've done a lot in this area. So during COVID, we did a lot of work with the health departments around COVID education. This is before the vaccines, around testing. And then we were very involved in helping people with vaccine education and getting the vaccines and just being aware of what was happening. We were distributing all sorts of things that people needed, masks and sanitizer, and, again, focusing on education. And we were really involved in that. And when food insecurity became very prevalent during the COVID time, we began working with different agencies and organizations to distribute food throughout the community at no cost to just all sorts of communities, focusing on Black and brown communities, but serving everybody across the area. So we began to combine a lot of those initiatives together around our Virginia Voter Mobilization Initiative. And we were registering voters, educating people on the importance of local elections, giving away food, giving away information from the health department, partnering with churches to provide prayer support. And we just started combining the different things that we were doing and going out across the community and being of service however we could. And then 3 years ago, we had our first Juneteenth event in Stafford. And Ms. Eunice Hagler, who brought those events to this area, attended one of her events. And then she said, I'm getting a little bit older now, and I'd like somebody else to carry this on. And she called me and said, I think that can be you. And I was like, what, really? So
Wow.
I went ahead and took it, and we had a great first event, great second event, and we're prepared this year for something that's completely amazing in terms of celebrating Juneteenth and bringing together all the other things that I've been talking about so far. So that's a little bit about me and my wife and the Enough organization. Sharita Mariner, who's been our president since we established the organization. We've just been busy across the community serving however we can.
Wow, that is wonderful to hear. Now, let's talk about Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration. It is going to be an incredible event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love to hear more about the exciting activity and
yeah.
partnership involved. Before we do that, I see that you're sporting a cap. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, look, my wife has her own, but she's an artist, and then she also does merchandise on the side. She had this, she made this for me. It's an embroidered baseball hat, and the logo you see there is the official Juneteenth flag. And if you Google Juneteenth flag, you'll see this. It's red, white, and blue. And if you look at it, there's symbolism in the design. The red and the blue represent the United States. And if you know about Juneteenth, you know that's the day when the general made his way to Texas and informed the last slaves 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation that slavery was over. So for 2 years, there were still
Hmm.
slaves being treated as slaves and living as slaves when they were in fact free. There's a message in there somewhere, Princess, I'm
Yes, it
sure.
is.
But he got out there and they read the special order, and that's the official ending of slavery. So it's a holiday that's been celebrated in the South predominantly for quite a long time as Freedom Day. So the red and the blue from the United States, the star around the star
Hmm.
represents kind of this explosion of freedom and a burst of freedom. The curve represents the horizon, showing that we can lift up our heads and move toward the horizon together now that we're free. And that star represents the star on the U.S. flag. So there's a lot of U.S. symbolism here
Hmm.
because we were free from slavery, but still U.S. citizens. And I'm proud about that. And I believe even during that time, there were a lot of people proud to be Americans, free Americans, because they began to see all the opportunity available to them. Now we know what happened after that. We know about Reconstruction and Jim Crow and all the unfairness that happened, but the possibilities were there, and this logo represents possibilities, that weren't there before, and it is the official Juneteenth flag logo. So I had her make this for me, and I wear it, especially during this time of year. I put it on. Plus, I'm gone bald, so I like wearing baseball.
All right, all right, all right. Well, let's get to the main topic in reference to Juneteenth celebration. Can you share some highlights with us?
This is crazy. I mean, number one, for those of you that know baseball, the Washington Nationals is a Major League Baseball team from this area. Their minor league affiliate are the Fredericksburg Nationals, and they have a 35 million, yes, $1 million stadium right here in Fredericksburg, next to the Expo Center here in Fredericksburg near Central Park. And they are it's Virginia Credit Union Stadium, but it's home of the Fredericksburg Nationals and where they play all their games. They're letting us use the stadium for the entire day, June 17th. Now, June 17th is not Juneteenth. The official holiday is that Monday, the 19th. We're having our event on the 17th so that people can celebrate and do all the wonderful things I'll talk about and still have Monday off to have cookouts or do whatever it is you want to do on the actual holiday. So our event is on the 17th, and we have the entire $35 million stadium for the day. Now, what's going to be going on? We're having on the 11th, we're having a car and bike show. So we're going to have motorcycles, spiders, slingshots, cars at the Orleans Bistro in Spotsylvania. We're going to have that in the parking lot. We're going to have music outside during the car show. We're going to have Autumn Joy from
Hmm.
96.3 WHUR. She's going to be there at 6 prior to her. The Fine Line Band from this area is going to be playing live outside. So it's going to be celebratory, going to be music, all these fancy cars. You can get something to eat from Orleans Bistro, who's our partner for the event. Then we're
Okay.
going to have prayers called Bike Blessing. For those of you that are familiar with, motorcycles and motorcycle groups, it's a bike blessing. And we're going to have Pastor Troy Dixon, my pastor, pray over the bikers on that day at Orleans Bistro on the 11th. 17th is the day of the actual event, and we're going to have another regional bike blessing in the parking lot beginning at 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. So it's going to be even more bikes and cars and motorcycles and slingshots and spiders and live music in the parking lot as people are coming to the stadium. At 3 o'clock on that day, actually at 1 o'clock on that day, in addition to the bikes contest outside, we're going to have a career fair inside the stadium in the executive clubhouse area. We have well over 23, 24 companies across various industries. Many of them are coming there to hire people. We have people looking for nurses, IT professionals, cybersecurity professionals, drivers. The new Amazon warehouse is going to be represented, looking to hire people to work in their warehouse, not just as warehouse workers, but as managers and logistics people. We have people from finance, from entertainment, retail, hospitality. There are all kinds of businesses being represented for free for this career fair from 1 to 3 p.m. inside in the executive club area of the stadium. So as you walk through the bikes and the music, come on in if you're looking for employment and looking to change careers, and spend some time in there speaking with companies and recruiters and HR personnel that are there to talk to hopefully to you. At 3 o'clock, the show actually starts. We have a professional stage is going to be established with lights and speakers and all of this stuff. And we're going to have a reenactment from the 23rd Colored Troop from this area. Many of you are familiar with them. They're going to kind of raise the colors and read the special order that was read in Texas in 1865. And Reverend Hashmel Turner, who many know from this area, he's a mainstay. We'll talk a little bit, and then we're going to get started. We have live musical performances from local artists. We have live bands. We have Little Maceo, who's a jazz performer. He's going to be performing. He's a Grammy Award-winning performer. We have the Brincore All-Stars, who are nationally recognized. They're going to have 2 sets. We have Major League Band, who's playing later on in the evening to help close out the day right before the huge fireworks show. We have Ambiance Dance, who's going to perform an interpretive dance with African drum music. We have spoken word performances that are going to be taking place. I mean, the list goes on and on for the day. We have keynote speakers from people that are very important to this community. And I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Carissa Cameron Jackson, a former Miss America from Fredericksburg, is going to be singing the Negro National Anthem on that day. We have a step show from the North Stafford Step Thunder team. I mean, we're going to award and recognize Mr. and Miss Juneteenth for this year, with each one of them receives a $1,000 scholarship after submitting an essay, being interviewed, and having their references checked. That's been managed by the Spotsylvania NAACP. So we have a lot packed into a period between 3 and 8 p.m. when the final band goes up, and we're closing out with that final band in a huge fireworks display right there at the stadium over the field. So it's going to be a day full of fun and excitement and family. We have a local organization providing youth activities, so the kids will have plenty to do, plenty of things to do for fun. Concessions are open at the stadium, so we don't have any food vendors. I'll let you know that now. No food vendors. If you get hungry, you want something to drink, you got to go to the stadium concessions, and that's fine. They'll be open. And for you all that do drink beer or what have you, that will be available as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun, Princess. There's so much going on that day. I'm just excited about it, and excited about the sponsors and the partners that have come together from across our community, from Caroline to Stafford, to pull this off and do this together as an act of celebration of all of us across the community. This has been all about unity from the start for us, and that's how it's beginning to materialize.
Man, I'm getting excited just listening to you. But can you also talk a little bit about the involvement of the Virginia Black Business Directory?
Yeah, well, they're actually one of our partners. Okay. We have we're calling it an entrepreneur showcase, right? But we have 130 confirmed vendors from across the area that are going to be set up during the day. So from beginning at 3 o'clock, you'll have 130 locally owned businesses showcasing their services, showcasing their products, selling their products, and we're going to set them up throughout the stadium. The VABBD is actually giving us a free 10 by 10 booth at the upcoming Black Business Expo at the end of this summer, and they're giving us 2 all access passes for the many events that go on that weekend, and those 2 gifts are going to be provided to 2 lucky businesses that are among the 130 that are going to be out there for the Business Expo, for the Entrepreneur Showcase on that day. So they're going to be a lot of vendors out there from the area. Many you may know, most you may not. And it's everything, every product, every service you can possibly imagine. As we look at the list, it's just mind blowing as to the number of vendors and the different types of vendors and businesses that are going to be out there for the Entrepreneur Showcase. Yeah.
Wow, what an incredible lineup. There is definitely
Yeah.
something for everyone at the Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration. I'm sure our viewers are eager to get involved and support this event. How can they contribute or participate?
Yeah, one way to contribute is to block your calendar. Come to the Car and Bike Show on the 11th at 3 o'clock at Orleans Bistro, right, from 3 to 7 or 8, and or come to the event on the 17th. Again, the gates open at 3, but the career fair and the car show starts at 1 p.m. on the 17th, which is a Saturday. So come out, bring your family, bring your friends, be prepared to have a great time. Bring a blanket so you can sit out on the field and relax, right? But come out and support. Tell others about the event. I can't emphasize this enough. Tell others about the event. There's going to be a blast on social media for the next 2 weeks. We're going to be very active, but we need you all to tell people to come on out. And guess what? It's free. The only thing you'll pay for is if you spend money with some of the vendors.
Or the food or drinks.
And your food and drinks. Yeah, it's completely free, completely family friendly.
Awesome.
We're going to have a great time. The website is easy to get to. If you go to www.shoutenough.com/Juneteenth celebration, right? And if you go just to the website, shoutenough.com, and if you look into the top, you'll see Juneteenth celebration there. Just click on the link, and that'll take you to the webpage for the event. And you can scroll down and see all of the acts, all of the performances, all of the sponsors and partners, and all of that. Shoutenough.com, Juneteenth celebration.
Hey, you know what? Fantastic. Thank you for sharing all the details and ways to participate. The Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration is going to be a remarkable event, and we're honored to help spread the word. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or messages you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, we as I mentioned before, we did this several times, and we realized last year we were doing the same event in King George at Mount Bethel Christian Center as a way of helping them raise money and bring awareness to the efforts to restore Mount Bethel Christian Center that has a huge historical importance to this area, to African Americans in this area. So we had a very successful event there, and we found out during that day people would come to the event and they were saying, well, I went to an event earlier in Stafford and one in Fredericksburg and one in Caroline and one in Maryland. And they were like, why don't we just have one somewhere? Why can't we do that? And that started us thinking. And Tanisha Allen, who's a member of the Stafford Board of Supervisors, took it upon herself to reach out to the leaders of the stadium to explain that we wanted to do something centrally for the entire Planning District 16 area, with Stafford, Fredericksburg, Caroline, King George, and Spotsylvania, right? And they agreed. So our goal was to have this event in a central place so that everybody could come together. So it's really been about unity and togetherness, and let's push aside organizational titles and names and all of that stuff, bring in sponsors and partners and do this together. And I'm looking at what's happening, and it's definitely been the favor of God has been upon this from the beginning, and it's really coming together. And I'm just so excited to see it come together like this. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're watching, let's start working together, not just for Juneteenth, but for different things that are going on, back to school drives and graduation celebrations and all kinds of things that we typically do on our own churches, our own chapters, our own organizations. Let's try to partner more and do things together more. We can accomplish so much more together than we can on our own. So that message of inclusion and unity is one that we definitely want to push, and one that really helped us get to where we are today with the event that's coming up on June 17th.
Thank you again for joining us today and for your dedication to the community. We wish you the best of luck with the Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration. To all of our viewers, make sure you mark your calendars and come out to support this extraordinary event. Now, hey, this concludes our interview with the one and only Mr. Mayor Gary Holland. Thank you for tuning in to LCPM Network. Remember to visit their website and social media channels for more information on the Planning District 16 Juneteenth celebration. Stay tuned for more inspiring interviews and stories. Until next time, take care and keep making a difference.
All right. Thank you, Princess.